goes up in the ride. Science magic side by side. Experiments we can't deny. Let's see how high we can fly. In the lab or in the yard. STEM with Lexx, it ain't too hard. We build, we move, we see the spark. Learning here leaves a mark. The science with Lexx, come on, join the quest. Hands-on learning, we're the best. Hey, hey, come on kids, let's do the test.
Welcome to Lex's STEM Lab. We're still continuing with our STEM careers segment, and today I have something special for you. We're going to meet a doctor of physical therapy. So without further ado, Dr. Ty, STEM Lab, Dr. Ty.
Hi, I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming. Could you introduce yourself to us and tell us a little bit about you, where you're from?
Yeah, so my name is Tymon Enwereama. I'm from Rockledge, Florida. I grew up in Rockledge, Florida, went to school there my entire life, and now I'm back working in Rockledge, Florida. So. Yeah.
Absolutely. And then I actually know him from elementary school. Him and my brother played basketball. And this is going to tell y'all how old we are. He was on the first basketball team at Gulfview Elementary. Yeah, y'all don't have that anymore. Yeah. But 100%, this was Throwback Thursday, back to the 99s and 2000s.
I was on the first basketball team at Gulfview. Probably the first and only, so I'm down in history for that one, for sure.
For sure.
That's funny.
So thinking back to Gulfview, or whether it's Gulfview when you were in middle school, high school, what do you think that your teachers would describe you as? What kind of student were you?
Yeah, I mean, so that's a good question. I actually ran into one of my teachers from elementary school, and she said that I was always curious. So she was like, I always asked questions. I always wondered why things happen the way they do. So if I had to answer that, I would say that they would say that I'm pretty curious and was always asking questions. So which is good.
Nice. Yeah. What was your favorite subject in school?
So my favorite subject, I would say, was science. It just came a little more natural to me. So I just like science out of anything, any of the subjects.
Yeah. What about your least favorite?
My least favorite would be math, for sure. I did not like math. But everybody has the thing that they like or gravitate towards. Yeah. But mine was science, and I just did not like math at all.
Do you feel like you liking science kind of gave hand in hand with why you chose physical therapy?
Yes, I do, because it is like a science career type of thing. Yeah. And anatomy is a huge part of it. And so those two, of course, go hand in hand. So I think it really drove me towards my career choice,
Absolutely. Yeah. And I know you said you are a doctor of physical therapy. Mm-hmm. What degrees do you have and what certifications do you have? And from what schools?
Got it. So I got my undergrad degree, my 4-year degree in biology, and I went to Florida Memorial University for that.
FLOMO.
Yeah, it's only HBCU in Miami, so that's pretty cool. And then I got my graduate degree in physical therapy, of course, at University of St. Augustine. And so that was, those were 2 schools that I went to.
And how was the life? How can you compare your life to down south in Miami to here in Rockledge, Florida?
Yeah, it's way different, but it's super motivational, though, because you see a lot more diversity, I would say. And it's like you just ride down the street and see $1 million homes. So it's really motivational. You see a lot of different things, and it kind of pushes you and lets you know what you could achieve, to be honest. So that's one thing I like about living in Miami. Yeah, you saw a lot of different things, and it can drive you to want to achieve more. So that was pretty cool.
Nice. Yeah. Thanks, Miami, for creating this new doctor. We appreciate the motivation. Yeah, absolutely. So can you describe how you got to become a doctor of physical therapy, or what led you to this?
So I played basketball in college, and my junior year, the very first workout we had, I got hurt. And so I had to go through physical therapy. And then once that happened, I was like, I can see myself doing this. And that really just drove me to the field. Already liking science, of course, but that kind of just was the last straw to say, okay, like you need to go in this direction. So, yeah.
I'm going to put a pause on this interview because you got hurt during workouts. Now, I'm not going to talk trash about you, but now that we have a camera, I will.
Yeah.
Because Throwback Thursday, he literally for years he's been telling people that I tripped him during basketball practice at Golf U. I didn't trip him.
I
He's
remember that.
clumsy,
Nah.
as you can see.
No, I did get hurt. It was a workout, but I landed on someone's foot, so that's like a really common injury.
Okay.
You can twist your ankle, so that's what happened to me. I jumped and landed on somebody's foot, and it was
Basketball
over for
players,
that. Yeah.
beware. This is serious.
Yeah. So it's a lot of different ways you can get hurt, of course, but that's what happened. Yeah.
All right. And then can you tell us what type of skills do you think that you need to become a doctor of physical therapy? Whether they're soft skills or technical?
Communication is one, because you need to communicate to your patient effectively and clearly. Being analytical is another, and that means being able to just solve problems and thinking outside of the box. You may get a different type of case you haven't seen in a while, something that's out of the norm, and it just may take you to think outside the box, figure out a solution, and then go from there. So, and teamwork is another one, because I talk to a lot of different professions, and I also talk with coworkers as well. So being able to communicate is another major one, I would say. Yeah.
Nice. And did you have any mentors or any role models, whether while you were coming up in physical therapy school or just growing up as a kid?
Yes, I mean, education-wise, my main role models are two of my cousins. So they're actually pharmacists. So even though I played basketball a lot as a kid and wanted to do that, of course, as every kid wants to go to the NBA, I always knew that there was another route to being successful. And seeing my cousins as pharmacists, and one summer I went to my cousin's house and he had a Maserati, and I was like, whoa. This is the same guy I just saw in Rockledge like 5-6 years ago, and now he's doing these things. So I was like, it's possible to achieve this through a different avenue. Absolutely. Other than like sports, of course. So I always had that in the back of my mind. So seeing them was really my motivation. My mentor is actually my boss right now.
Aww, how cute.
So I met him before I went to physical therapy school, and then I've been out for 3 years now, and I kind of came back home to work with him. So he's always been close and giving me advice through school, advice about life, just everything. So it's pretty cool to come back and work with him too.
That's nice. And it's good that though he's your boss, it's not a employee-boss relationship. You see it as more than that.
Yeah, it's like a friend.
And like you said, you knew him before he was your boss, and that's fire. Sometimes, at least in this day and age, people aren't giving out these free gyms.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So that's been really beneficial to my life, of course. So yeah,
that's great. Good. So shout out to all the good bosses. We appreciate y'all in everything you do. Sure. Can you describe for us the day in the life of a physical therapist?
Yeah, so I usually get here about 7:30. My first patient is usually in about 7:40. If it's a new patient, we'll have an evaluation. So I'll kind of ask them some questions, figure out what's hurting them, or if they just had a surgery recently, I'll ask them what limitations they have now, and then things of that nature. So we'll go through that, and then I'll do a physical exam. So I'll look at range of motion, which is like how much a joint or body part moves, their strength, and then I'll do different tests depending on the body part. So I can move your joints, I can move like different things with my hands to figure out what the issue is. That's more so what I do. And then after that, I'll come up with a good game plan to get that person back to whatever they want to do. So sometimes I may have an athlete who has a sprained ankle once they get back to playing sports. Or I may have someone who just had a stroke and they want to get back to learning how to walk. It ranges. I see like a lot of different things. So whatever it is, I figure out your goals. I figure out what's limiting you, what's hurting you. And then from there, I come up with a plan to get you back to doing that thing. So, nice. And so I see about 12 patients a day, 12 or 13. And then I'm out of here about 4:30 on there.
All right, nice. And then when you have these patients, is it that you're coming up with the different exercises? Or like you said, you're creating an individualized plan for everybody. Mm-hmm. So does it ever look the same for everybody?
No, it's not the same for everybody. Like I said, it depends on what their issue is. So some things that are given are exercises, of course. Then some things I'm doing with my hands. Sometimes I'm using a machine, whether it's like we have a red light laser here that helps with blood flow and healing, circulation. Electrical stimulation, which is common. That's like the e-stim pads that you put on, and they send electrical pulses. Sometimes I'll use that. Sometimes if it's a person who just had a stroke, I'm teaching them how to engage what body parts they need to engage in order to learn how to walk again. So it just varies. It just depends on what the issue is.
It's a case by case kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right. Mm-hmm. So can you think about a funny moment or time that you've had while you're at work?
Yeah. So I just had a patient literally this week. She came in and her son is also a doctor of physical therapy. His name is Ty, and he's in Colorado. And then today, that was like on Monday. And then today I had another new patient. And we were talking and they were like, oh, that's funny. My best friend, her son is a physical therapist. And his name is Ty. And I was like, oh, like, where does he live? And he said Colorado. And I was like, well, I just had a patient tell me that like Monday. Come to find out they're best friends.
Oh,
that's since like 1996, but they had no clue that they were both coming
going to the same place.
Yeah, so that was pretty funny.
Okay, he was not telling anybody. Yeah. He's like, oh, I don't know. I had somebody tell me something earlier.
Yeah, but they ended up calling each other, and then they told me. So I was like, okay, so cool. I didn't put any names out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that was pretty like ironic. Yeah, that was cool. That's cool.
Nice. What kind of problems as a doctor of physical therapy is it that you solve on a daily basis?
Yeah, well, my main goal is just to get the patients back to what they were doing prior to being injured or surgery. So I'm just trying to get them back to what we call their prior level of function. So that's exactly what I just said, how you were before the surgery or the stroke or the injury that you may have had. So that's my main goal. Yeah.
All right.
My main problem that I'm solving. Yeah.
And then what would you say is the most rewarding aspect being in this profession?
Just being able to help someone on a daily basis, that's super rewarding. I guess there's times where I'm tired or like sometimes we're human, don't want to be here. But once I get that patient that comes in and say, hey, like I'm able to do this and I wasn't able to, or like a week ago, I had a patient who has vertigo. So vertigo is when you're getting up and the room is just spinning around you. You're dizzy constantly, you're spinning. So when you have vertigo, it's hard to drive, can't work. And so there's different maneuvers we can do to fix the vertigo by using gravity and things like that. And so I did that. She came back in and she was crying. She was like, I can't believe it. Like, you worked a miracle. So that's always rewarding, of course, just having somebody come in and say, like, you changed their life in a positive way. That's pretty cool.
That's great. Now, we're going to take a turn. Mm-hmm. What would you say is the most challenging aspects?
I mean, difficult patients.
Yeah. I mean, everybody has them. Yeah.
I mean, you still have the patients who, like, even though I'm like super thorough in what I do, that may look at me sometimes and be surprised when they see like Dr. Ty, and then I walk up and they're like, oh, you know.
I can see that.
So I mean, like, still get that, but it's normal. That doesn't happen often though. Like, I usually get a good batch of patients, but like I would say, like 1 out of 20 can be difficult, you know, but it's just part of it.
Yeah, that's what comes with it. That's what comes with the white coat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just part of it. Yeah.
So what advice can you give a student who's interested in pursuing a doctor of physical therapy?
Yeah, so I would just say continue to work hard. Have to take your education seriously, of course. You can also still have fun. It's about balance. Multiple things can be true at once. So you can be a high school basketball player, but also, you know, really into school or in the Cambridge program or whatever they have now, or AP and stuff like that. Like, you can do multiple things at once. It just takes balance. Just work hard. You have to stay focused, limit distractions, things like that. But the main thing, you just have to stay focused and stay driven, I would say. And, yeah.
That's great. And outside of work, what is your favorite thing to do? Do you have any favorite hobbies or activities?
I also like to work out, hang out with my friends, just the normal stuff, really. Listen to music, play basketball still when I get a chance, things like that. Try new restaurants, you know. Stuff that a 30-year-old would do. Just normal stuff.
He's like, you know, we just cross stuff off our list.
Yeah, I like to travel. I like to travel a lot. That's pretty cool. Like seeing different things. But yeah, that's fine.
Nice. And then what TV shows, movies, books, what are some things that you like to get into after like a long day of work?
after a long day, or if I had some of those difficult patients I was talking about, I just like to literally lay down in silence.
All right.
Because there's so much going on through the day. I just like to lay down, unwind, and just be quiet.
All right. So you just go home and turn everything off. It's no music,
I just
nothing.
lay there.
How long do you do that? You're just like, I need peace and silence.
It may be like 30 minutes. Like, I don't want anybody to talk to me.
You just need to like reset and just just have to like process the day. Like, wow, this was really kind of trash.
Yeah, because you're talking to people like all day, and I can't really ever appear to not be happy, or I always have to be on like my best, because these people are worse than I am.
Yeah, they're hurting.
So I don't want to come with bad energy too. So that takes a lot sometimes out of you, So at the end of the day, I just like to relax.
Absolutely, just let your hair down and just vibe out.
Yeah.
All right. So if bills and responsibilities didn't exist, you're good to go. You don't owe anybody anything. Do you think that you'd still pick this same profession, or do you think you'd want to do something different, or what would you do differently?
NBA sounds cool.
Like, yeah, man.
Like if it was like a regular like profession that's not like a athlete or anything like that, like a normal everyday profession, I would say no. I don't know if I would say no. I would be doing what I'm doing now. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I can't see myself doing anything else really. Like, I think I was really made and fit for this. So.
It was either this or the NBA, y'all. That injury got me. If it wasn't my ankle, I'd have been over here hooping.
Yeah, I can't see myself doing anything.
You could pick to be on any NBA team, whether you want to play with a certain player, you want to be underneath a certain coach. Where would you want to go today?
Miami. Love Miami.
Okay, I'll take my talents down to South Beach. Okay.
Miami. Yeah, I'll probably say Miami for sure.
Is it just because it's in Miami?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah.
Yeah, I like Miami.
Okay, good to know. All right, and then if we were to be making a TV show right now called Life with Ty, what would be your theme song?
My theme song? Even though he's been kind of off the meter lately, I would say Champion by Kanye West. I really like that song, and just the lyrics that are driven through that song. And I actually used it when I graduated for like my graduation party invite. Just like the chorus of it, just the theme behind it. So I would say Champion.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. West, for contributing.
If you can say that.
Because at this point, I don't know what you can say to this nice man. Let me piss him off. So what advice would you have for a student who's interested in STEM but haven't found a school subject yet that they're interested in or that they like just yet?
I think it takes time to figure that out, but I would figure out what kind of keeps you curious, like my teacher said about me, like what interests you, what draws your attention, what keeps your attention. That's important too. Because if something keeps your attention, you're usually interested in it. Like it keeps you engaged. So I would say that. I think that's the main thing I would do. Just try to find something that keeps you engaged, wanting to learn more, or something that you continue to ask questions about, or you find yourself wanting to know more about. And then I think just access to broader things is good. So like what you're doing now, and being able to see different fields and, just a broader range or scope would be good, because then you may not know what you're interested in if you don't know about it.
Absolutely. Right? You don't know what's not there.
Yeah, exactly. So just being exposed to different things. And it's hard for a kid sometimes to be exposed to different things, but that's where you come along. And so that's really good. Yeah.
Tap in.
Yeah.
All right. And then how can students or parents, if they want to ask you more questions about yourself, about becoming a doctor of physical therapy, about flow-mo, about Miami nightlife, anything like that, you never know what they want to ask. So how can they reach you?
Yes, I'm here located in Rockledge, Physical Therapy and Balance Center. But I'll also give you my card, and you can maybe attach it to the video, and have my email and the phone number here. So you can reach out that way. It's really good. The quickest way, I think, is the email. So that'll work. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, Dr. Ty, we appreciate you for stopping by inside the STEM lab. Any last words for the kids and parents at home?
It was a pleasure. And just continue to work hard and find what attracts you, what motivates you, and stay engaged. And you can achieve anything you want. Honestly, you really can, as long as you stay engaged and just work hard. So, yeah.
Absolutely. All right. So thanks, guys, for coming to Lex's STEM Lab. We'll see you next time.
All right. Appreciate it.